Hi Cancer, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Cancer, we're going to see what your starseed family wants to tell you about your past, present, and your future. So, to get started, we are going to start with the starseed oracle deck, and we're going to shuffle it out. Okay, Cancer, if I'm going to tell you anything about this reading, just remember this. Wherever you are led to go right now, wherever you are led to go, wherever, there seems to be like a call to draw you in a direction, or just be open. Just be kind of like in yes mode, because really this could not be. And don't hesitate. That's the thing here. Don't hesitate. Your underlying cards are so interesting. Activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. And then you have spirit has a plan with koala, and then the Knight of Swords. It's like you don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Okay? If you take anything with you in this reading today, please take that. Don't hesitate. Okay, so I'm going to look here in your past. I want to say, I feel like you had to look at something. Something that perhaps you were trying to figure out for a long time. The thing is, it's like to actually recognize this and to see it, you had to have been like maybe the bravest you've ever been. And I'm saying that, well, first you have to be fearless and bold. And then secondly, because, okay, you have the Hangman, the Seven of Cups, right? Like this is like someone spending a lot of time trying to understand, maybe even trying to understand what your options are, what your choices are, what the illusions are. So that could be it too. The illusions, because when I say that, that feels like to me, one of the aspects of trying to be the most fearless and bold as possible is looking at the illusions that we kind of cast in front of ourselves, or that we've allowed to be cast in front of us. Because it kind of like, in a sense, that breaks down, like perhaps could break down plans that we were envisioning in the future for ourselves. It could break down like why we think we're where we are right now, like, and go, oh, shit. Because I'm here, I am right now. Right? Like, it can't be. Whatever it is. Or it could be like in some way that you're allowing somebody to take your power. So this is in the past. But it turns into the Three of Swords. So I really want to say that, because it's like, look deeper. Look a little deeper. There's hidden secrets here. There's a lost wisdom. You know something here, but maybe not looking at it. Or at least it took a while. I don't want to say not looking at it, because you have the Hangman and the Seven of Cups, and this person is looking at this. Maybe being fixated too long on something in particular. On sort of like a storyline that you had developed in your own mind or heart. So that's interesting in the past. And now, in the present, okay, because like you've seen something, you've understood something, you've looked beyond whatever some type of illusion was, you've discovered the answer for yourself, but it's a painful answer. It's not necessarily the answer that you maybe even wanted yourself to believe in, but it is the answer. So now, because you have Breath of the Cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe, and dream the world into being. what I do want to say is I guess with your energy, I'm picking up that you're still a little bit guarded about maybe whatever new path is lays in front of you after sort of like dismantling some sort of illusion, something that you were taking a long time to try to understand. You're still like guarded. So there might even be something going on right now where maybe you're not even sure, like you can trust yourself. Like, shit, if I like fooled myself, I think we are more capable of fooling ourselves more than anyone else is capable of fooling us. I mean, we can choose to believe things that are going on around us too, or look at them in a certain way. But there definitely is like a little bit, because micromanaging and the Seven of Wands, it's like you're still a little bit like, it's got the Seven of Wands. Protecting, so I want to say maybe not still, but now you are protecting yourself actually. And maybe trying to, in some way, tell the universe how to create something for you. But all you need to do is let your mind flow. Dream the world into being. We're looking at this because you got the Seven of Wands and then you have the Fool and then you have the King of Swords. So it's like, okay, yeah, my new beginning is going to be this. And this is what's going to happen in my new beginning. And then I'll do this. And then that will happen. And then this person will show up. And then we'll do that. And then that will happen. Like, so there's something here about letting go of the mind. And I kind of feel like maybe the swords go into the heart. So neither the heart or the mind agree here. And cups could be associated with feelings. There might be something here where you don't trust your feelings. Or you're finding it hard to trust your feelings, so you're not sure. But it's almost like the universe wants you to start creating a new path for yourself, a new type of existence, a new reality. But whenever the micromanaging the universe card comes up, like that just tells me, I remember somebody else got that this week. Wasn't in the same spot, but they did get it. And it just tells me like there's a need here to allow the universe to, like, there's a control issue. There's a control issue. So it's releasing this control issue. I kind of want to say too, with the King of Swords, if it helps you, maybe even just like make a list of what you know to be true and what not to be true in your life right now. Because you have the Seven of Cups and the Three of Swords with this Hangman. Like there's been some time here in the past, like really looking deep to find some answers. And when you find those answers, they're not necessarily the answers that you were hoping for, the answers that you wanted to hear. I find where you are right now is the most complex. Like I'm going to dig that one out with clarifiers. So in the future, you're going to find there's something that you need to get out of your life. It's toxic. Which again is very interesting because in the past you realized something that, so maybe it's this something that's like, you know, giving you the Three of Swords, like heartache, misery, pain, sadness, truths that your heart doesn't want to hear. Because you have lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. And then Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. So whatever is not in alignment here, there's something that's not in alignment. I mean, maybe it's a habit. Could be that too. You could be looking at something, maybe it's even a way that you've been trying to look at the world, and it's not in an alignment that's healthy for you. Could be that. I mean, it could be a number of things. I mean, it could be a person in your life and you're finally realizing something about them that your heart didn't want to believe, but your mind has come through and stabbed it and said, listen, look. But whatever it is that you got to get rid of, the universe is going to replace it, I feel like, with something much better than what has been in there. So even if it's a bad habit, you might develop a new habit. Our whole life is based on habits. I mean, I don't go to sleep at 3 a.m. and then wake up at 5 p.m. and then the next day go to sleep at 7 p.m. and wait. Like, I have a habit about what time I go to sleep. And for the most part, give or take a few minutes or 20 or 30 minutes. And the same with kind of waking up, right? Like, so I think our entire lives are very habitual. Habits are actually things that kind of help us, I want to say, help us manage the unexpected. It's, if you think about when you're learning to drive a car, I can still remember that to this day because it just blew my mind how exhausting it was when I was learning. And I remember, I think it was like maybe the third or fourth time I've been out with my driving instructor. And I think we went on to like, it's just what do they call it? Oh, like it's a highway. But it's not a controlled highway. A controlled highway, right, is when you have like specific on and off ramps. Like here in Ontario, they're the 400 series. Everything that starts with a 400 is a controlled highway. So there's like multiple lanes. It's more like, it could be 1 to 2 lane highway, or sorry, I should say 2 to 4 lanes, right? And you can just kind of merge on and get off. It was like one of those. And I remember I was so exhausted. I was like checking my blind spots, checking the speed, checking this. There's a car in front of me. You're right. Like, I managed it. I did it. And then I got home and I remember I said to my mom, I'm so exhausted. How do you drive every day? And she looked at me. She said, why are you so tired? I said, I was checking this and I was checking that and I was checking my speed. And she said, oh, you don't even think about that. Like, once you've been driving for a while, you won't even think about that. All you're going to be thinking about, like, well, you might be thinking about what groceries you forgot to pick up. It's like, what? But that's what life is, right? So why are we talking about oh, habits? Because the devil card is the first thing that comes up, okay, in your future. But it's getting rid of things. And I want to say getting rid of it could be a bad habit. But that's what I mean. Like, the universe is going to replace it with a good habit. Because being in the habit of driving consciously and safely and awarely, in full awareness is good. It's important to have that habit. So I don't want to say that habits are bad. Not all habits are bad. It's things that are toxic. So there's something here that's toxic and it's not in alignment with where you need to go. So you're going to take a look at it and you're going to say bye-bye, so long, farewell. And the universe is going to say, thank you very much. Holy crap. We've been waiting to put this in there, which is much better. Even just like maybe you have the habit of eating like cupcakes when you wake up in the morning. My son was showing me a video of this guy who eats Doritos for breakfast every morning. Like, oh, it's terrible. So maybe you're not going to eat Doritos for breakfast every morning. Maybe you'll have like some oatmeal and some juice. I don't know. It's forming a new habit. Because then you have the 4 of Wands and 8 of Pentacles. There could be something here too. Like, you could have a really unhealthy approach to your work. You have a really unhealthy approach to your work. And this is like, this is celebrating your work. Yeah, I think that's pretty, whatever it is, you're going to master it. And you're going to master this in a way that it starts off good. Okay, so here's the other thing. You are on your way to mastering, I want to say sort of like celebration. Good times in your life. You're on your way to mastering that. Now, when I say anything unaligned must go, the first thing, like after I shuffled everything and I pushed the cards up and I sat with it just for a second before I started doing the reading with you, I saw anything unaligned must go. And what's sitting sort of like almost directly underneath it is this. And I'm seeing her pulling out that tarot card out of the basket with the food. It doesn't belong there. It's really funny. It is, because it doesn't belong there. And that's the only time I've ever seen that card in that way on this card. It's usually like discovering something that's leading you somewhere else. And it could indirectly be a cause of that. But that card doesn't, it's like something in this basket, one of these things just isn't like the others, right? Like something here doesn't belong. How do you pull that out? So whatever this is, it's like you find something here that's unhealthy that needs to be pulled out. It doesn't go with the celebration that you're creating in the future for you. But this is something, it could have something to do with work. It could have a habit that you formulated around work. It could have something to do with the time that you give work or the time that you don't give work or the sacrifices that you make in your personal life. But just in general, I feel like it's something to do with better habits. And these habits can reflect the type of people that you hang out with. They can reflect, you know, who and what you give your energy to, how you give your energy away. So where I really want to clarify is here, in like where you are right now. Micromanaging the universe. That's brilliant. You got the 8 of Wands, but this is the most difficult one because none of the sticks are going in the right direction. You can't micromanage the universe. The cosmos are great and vast. And we don't even know all the other things that exist, like absolutely 100% proof. All of the things that could exist in the cosmos. But there's one thing that I think is pretty certain, is that the energy that we absorb and expel, it all moves. You know, as subtle as it ends up being, as small as a ripple as it can become light years from here, it still has an effect. So, if you are not, I'm going to say you're not, because you're here in the 3D right now. And even if you are, you're in the 3D right now. So you have, let's say, certain spiritual disabilities because you are in the physical. And you are grounded to earth. You can't know everything that the universe has got planned. You can't know everything that's going on in the universe, right? So micromanaging the universe in terms of being defensive about how the universe might bring something to you, or yeah, how that could come in, is like to let it go. Really let it go. Let it go. I hope that kind of brought a perspective. I think that kind of opens it up, right? Like when you look at it that big and vast. You are part of this system. Allow the universe to work it. It's almost as if you're like a clock with all these different gears in it. And it's like these gears, one of them has suddenly become conscious. It's like, I don't want to constantly spin in this direction. I want to spin in the other direction. No. Everything works with you spinning in that direction. It's like, right? And you can look at the cosmos like that, like a clock, like these gears. And you are one of like trillions of them. I'm hearing the time master, which is interesting. That would go so well with the clock, right? Let the time master allow it to unfold. So dream the world into being. Actually, it's beautiful because now I'm seeing like this gear just flowing. The gear is just flowing. And in that flowing, all it has to do, you don't have to do anything. You know what you can actually do? You can dream about what is it that your energy really does sitting here? What does that do as you're moving forward? Like imagine all the amazing things that are happening because your energy is moving just the way it is, just the way it's always been meant to move, just the way you were built to move. Just imagine the possibilities. Okay, so dream the world into being. Here you go. Dream the world into being. The page of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and Temperance. Oh, you're so cute. This is like this stubborn little gear. If you see burdens in front of you, you just give it time. Trust the universe is going to move it out. The universe is going to move it out. If you're starting to feel small in whatever clock it is that you're in. Well, imagine this. Maybe that clock is not working so well and somebody's going to take it into a clockmaker. That reminds me, I have an antique clock I should call. This guy who fixes antique clocks. I dropped it off months ago. And he said it would only take a couple months. I should probably go in, talk to him, see what's going on. But it is like that. It's almost like it gets in and maybe it decides this clock doesn't work anymore. So the clockmaker, because if it's an antique clock, they know this. You can't get those parts anymore. So you either salvage them from other clocks or you hand build them. So you're a salvageable piece. So you're a salvageable piece and you're coming out and you're going on the clockmaker's table. So, right? It's like, oh, geez. So now it almost feels like there could be, right? So that's so symbolic too, because it could represent somewhere where you were in a clock that wasn't working so well, right? And now you see that clock wasn't working so well. Oh my God, there's gears in the heart. That's crazy. I'm not kidding. I didn't really pick up on that until now. Oh, that's insane. Does this symbolize the gears of your heart and how they flowed and how they're meant to flow? Whoa, fuck me. That's really deep. So, well then, gears are getting put into a new heart, a new clock. But right, it almost feels like a burden to be this piece sitting on the table. You don't know what kind of clock you're going into. You don't know what other gears are going to be in that clock with you. I want to know now. Show me. Just imagine. You don't have to do anything. Just imagine. So 7 of Wands. I don't know. I didn't like the last clock. None of those gears worked in rhythm. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Knight of Wands and 5 of Cups. I think you just want to get past a point of sadness as fast as you can. Actually, I feel like you want to break down the defenses. You want to just jump right off the table and get into that other clock. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. It's going okay. But the universe, like, you can't micromanage the universe. I already told you why. Okay, so the Fool. The 9 of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, it's like just wanting to dive in with your heart. You want to resolve. I'm hearing resolve. So that's not what I'm not even hearing that. It just came out of my mouth. So I guess that's how we channel sometimes. I don't even know what I was going to say now. It's just like that's got displaced. So you want to resolve mental anxiety and replace it with warmth and love and affection. The King of Swords. Do we hear the oxymoron in that? So you want to replace mental anxiety with warmth and love and affection. The King of Swords. Maybe the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. The 9 of Pentacles. There's something you need to do here for you. You got to weigh out the pros and cons of something. Or you're waiting for something. I don't know. You're waiting for some sort of clarity. So that might be good. And maybe that's what's getting you into a bit of a mental state here. All right. I think I understand where you are right now as best as I can. So let's leave it as that. Anything unaligned must go. The Wheel of Fortune and the Moon. All right. So unknowns, fears. Yeah, that sounds like devil shit. Can be. Unknowns, fears, illusions. Well, see, again, it feels like it could be connected to something in the past. The abundant universe will provide. The Hermit, the Ace of Cups, and the Magician. All right, you don't have to do something right now. You don't have to, or you don't have to do something. Something will be provided for you. I think it's this energy of, I'm going to say, like kind of looking after yourself, trusting in the universe, not being anxious and driven by something that you can't control right now. Like, honestly, I feel like I just keep seeing like this little gear from the clock. This gear's been popped out. It's been taken out. And put on the table, but it's, I don't know. We'll get over there in a minute. Okay, the Devil. Oh my God, there he is. Son of a bitch. The Five of Swords, the Devil, and the Queen of Wands. I just heard the devil made me do it. So I don't know what that is. The devil made me do it. So, what's on? Let's go. Whatever's like in misalignment with you here, it feels like it prevents you. But I want to say it prevents you from leveling up, because you're here right now is the Knight of Wands, right? But then there's this energy over here, like when you get rid of the devil with the Five of Swords and the devil twice, then you level up and you have confidence. I want to say confidence too. Confidence, creative ability. The Four of Wands, but then that's fascinating, right? Something doesn't fit here. It's not meant to be there. And it's almost like discovering that and pulling it out and putting it in its place. So when I say that, putting it in its place, that also feels like too a little bit, you know, when something has gotten a little bit out of hand, or somebody's gotten a little bit too big in their britches, you know, like if your kid or someone suddenly thinks that they're running the house, it's like, the last time I checked, you weren't paying the bills. You make a lot of stupid decisions still because you don't have any life experience yet. You know, but you don't say that. You don't say it to them like that, but you know, in some fashion. But it's kind of like that. Like, and you were talking about the devil. So it's something that needs to be put into its place. So the Four of Wands. Judgment. Oh, there. That's like being lifted up off the table and put into this new clock. A new beginning. Or maybe it's going to be like, I'm hearing a singing clock. So the only one I can think of is like a cuckoo clock. Get ready. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. The Tower and the Six of Wands. Holy crap. You're going to make a clock tick like no clock has ever ticked before, Cancer. It's going to be the most successful clock that you've ever had, ever been part of, ever been in. I feel like my brain is reprogramming. Is that even possible? I really do. I feel like there's like new connections being made. It's odd. Anyways, the Three of Swords with these gears, and that's funny. There's gears behind him here. I mean, it's I guess to be expected because this is the steampunk tarot deck, so there's going to be lots of like industrial sort of things in it. But that's so symbolic about that, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, it's going to be good. The Eight of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Six of Wands. So whatever this wasn't, you're going to make some huge success here. Because you're breaking it down, you're getting rid of something that is not meant to be there. And in doing that, the universe is going to replace it with exactly what you need to have in that space. I don't know. I've never been drawn to that before. His one horn has like a ring on it or something. I don't know why I'm being drawn. He's got a ring in his nose, but there's something like glittering on his horn. Okay, let's see. What is this that you have learned here? Well, an illusion. Seeing an illusion. You looked deeper. You were fearless. You were bold. You were ready for the answer. The Three of Swords. The Three of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Let me get a full picture here. The Seven of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles, the World, the Chariot, and the Nine of Cups. Oh my gosh. No, now I see. There's something here. You've been trying to understand something, right? You needed to be able to grasp something very clearly. And then once you did, like that's it. Like you understand something. You needed to hold something clearly in your hands here. And I mean that like what actually kind of makes sense a bit with the King of Swords. Like you needed a hard, solid fact. And then you get it here. And then now it's almost like a realization. Well, I could go this way, which is actually continuing to lie to myself. Or I could go this way and follow my dreams and find fulfillment. So but look at this. Look at how the Three of Wands goes from like looking in one direction, which is like the back, trying to pull something in, perhaps trying to pull something in that's not for you. And then the Knight of Pentacles, which is like having a steady plan moving forward. But that was in the past. See, now you're sitting in this Knight of Wands where it's like you really want to charge forward. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. And that's it, just the Hanged Man. So, looking for a long time, putting yourself on pause, maybe putting yourself on pause. The Sun is at the bottom, so that's really good. And remember, oh, and you have the Knight of Swords, so that's it. Well, maybe you won't have to. I mean, maybe I don't have to tell you that. Like, if the universe is leading you somewhere, don't hesitate. Go. I think you might, because you got the Knight of Swords, and you're currently in the Knight of Wands. I'm going to go do the extended, Cancer. With the extended, I'm going to ask your starseed family, what is your next assignment? Like, what is the next assignment for you, and why? All right, Cancerians, until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.